What are 5 hidden gem bourbons that are collecting dust behind me? Let's find out. What is going on, everybody? Nathan here with the Everyday Drinker, bringing you guys a brand new video. Today's going to be a fun little video. This is a challenge that was thrown our way from Doc over at Old Fashioned Ways. He challenged us and a couple other YouTubers to find 5 bottles of bourbons and whiskeys that are collecting dust that are sitting in the back of your bourbon shelves. Now, this is a fun one for me because, I've got some stuff just hiding in the back there that I haven't cracked open or tried in a very long time, and that's what's in one of these Glencairns right now, and I haven't had this pour in over a year. And if you want to know what this pour is, you gotta wait till the end of the video. But before we get into my bottles, make sure you guys drop that like, leave a comment down below on what bottles of bourbons and whiskeys are collecting dust in your collection right now. And if you're brand new, smash that subscribe button. Now, I am going to challenge a couple of channels as well for this fun little whiskey tube endeavor. I'm going to challenge the Bourbon Hutch. I am going to challenge Carlos over at the Whiskey Corner. I'm going to challenge Matt and Pat at the Minor Bros. And last but not least, I know Doc already challenged him, but I am also going to challenge your drinking buddy. So there are my channels that I am challenging. Make sure you guys go check out those guys down below to see if they upload this in a timely manner. But without further ado, let's get into bottle number 1. Bottle number 1 that is collecting dust on my shelves at the moment, that is an absolute delicious pour, and I am more than halfway down the bottle, is going to be Penelope Valencia. This is the bourbon that has been finished in Vino de Naranja casks, which are orange brandy casks out of Spain. And this is coming in at 97 proof, and oh my God, does this bottle of bourbon just pack a whole bunch of flavor of just really nice citrus punch, but it's not overpowering. You still get a lot of the bourbon. It's not like one of those Amberana finished or maple cask finished. It gives you what that bourbon already has, but just spices it up a little bit. Makes you want to find a little bit more, and that is what this bottle has to offer, is just something that's a little bit more. It's not too crazy, it's not too out there. You find citrus notes in a lot of bourbons, but this just gives you a little bit more of an oomph, a little bit more of a little pizzazz in the bottle, and that is why I absolutely love this Penelope Valencia. It sits somewhat in the front of the bar, but for some reason I just always reach past it. I go to the back of the Penelope shelf and I grab other bottles of Penelope rather than this one, and I don't know why. I don't know if you guys can see the cake layer of dust. I gotta clean these bottles off a little bit more, but that's gonna be bottle number 1. That's going to be the Penelope Valencia finished in Vino de Naranja casks, and I will be cracking this one open soon so that I can crack off that dust cap. Bottle number 2. Bottle number 2 is going to go to OKI batch number 1. I was drinking this one so heavily, so quickly, and I just stopped. I don't know why. It's so darn delicious at 100 proof. To this day, I still don't know how they can call it a bourbon, but nonetheless, this was one of those bottles that I really enjoyed. And for some reason, it's just been collecting dust in the back of the shelf, and it's been in the back of the shelf all the way back over there. And it's another one I gotta crack open and crack off that dust cap and let the dust bunnies fly off of it, because it's a darn good pour and I miss it so much. Let's get into bottle number 3. Bottle number 3 is going to go to Widow Jane Decadence. Now, if you guys don't know what this bad boy is, this is a bourbon that is finished in maple casks, and it's an absolute delicious dessert bourbon. A lot of people will look at this and think to themselves, oh no, I can't have that. It's way too sweet. It's going to be way too maple forward. It's going to blow my palate out, and I'm not going to like it. I've had a lot of people that I have told in the past about this bottle of bourbon that it is not going to do that to you. You are going to enjoy what this bottle of bourbon has to offer. And I think it's a $90-ish bottle at MSRP. Was able to snag this one up. This was one of those unicorns I was searching for 2 years ago, and we've got about a sixth of the bottle left, and I haven't cracked it open in a very, very long time. I don't even think I opened it up in the winter time this year, and the last time I opened it up, I think was for a cocktail video. But nonetheless, this Widow Jane Decadence is one of those bottles that if you're looking for something that's a dessert pour, I gotta crack it open again. Maybe make another old fashioned with it. Maybe just drink it neat or on the rocks and enjoy this bourbon for what it has to offer, because it's got a nice layer of dust on there, and we gotta crack this bad boy open a little bit more often. Let's get into bottle number 4. Bottle number 4 isn't a bourbon. It's a double wheat whiskey, and this is the Old Elk double wheat, coming in at 107.1 proof. I remember when this came out, I was hell on high water trying to get this bottle, do a review of it, and blah, blah, blah. And it was an absolute delicious, delicious pour. But it's chilling all the way in the back over here behind the 2XOs and the RD1s and the Wilderness Trails. And because of that, I completely forgot I even had this bottle. And I feel like that happens to a lot of us, right? We completely forget we even have a bottle of bourbon or whiskey that is an absolute delicious, delicious gem. And, you know, this is just this one unfortunately reaped the disregard of its existence in my collection. That's why I plan on getting new shelving units here in the bourbon room here in the near future. I want to get the big long wooden shelves with one continuous piece with black piping or copper piping with lights in the back, you know, so everything is just nicely organized in a straight line, and I don't have to have this hoopla of not knowing what is what behind what. But you know, that's a video for another day. But this right here is one of those just like really, really nice, like softer wheat whiskeys. It's not super in your face with earthiness. Has a little bit of that earthiness, but you know, it's one of those that, you know, I forget what it tastes like almost. And I'm gonna have to crack it open here in the near future again, remind myself what this bad boy is all about, because I do think I said it was better than Weller 107. And at this moment, I don't think that's true. I think that I was a little bit crazy back then, but hey, old me, new me, you never know. Which one's right, which one's wrong? You've got no idea. But we've got one more bottle to get into, and it has been on my bottom shelf, and I don't even think I've done a review or had it on the channel yet, and it does not deserve the punishment that it has endured. It is the bourbon that is in this glass, and I have been enjoying it this entire video, and it's almost empty. Let's get into it. Bottle number 5 is going to go to Fat Labrador Distillers. This is a Whiskey Town. This was bottled in 2022. This is a straight bourbon whiskey that is finished with oak staves. This is aged for 3 years. And yes, it's a 90 proof whiskey that's 3 years old. That is MGP juice. But I don't know how they age stuff in San Francisco. This stuff, you know, I've had a couple pours out of this bottle, and it is just so darn delicious. You know, it's just really, really good stuff, and I really wish that, you know, this was a little bit more readily available. I don't know how readily available this right here is for a lot of people out in like California, San Francisco, and that in the West. I don't know if this is sitting on shelves. If it is, this stuff needs to be purchased and picked up by you. You know, a lot of distillers are using MGP juice, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just what they do with that bourbon to stand out from the rest. And this right here at 90 proof, it's got a lingering finish that goes on forever, and I don't know how they did it, and I've enjoyed it so much out of this glass. I don't know how I forgot about this bottle. I'm so sorry to this bottle and the distiller, because it's so darn good. That's some darn good bourbon right there. There you guys go. Those are the 5 bottles of bourbons and whiskeys that have been collecting dust that are hidden gems in my collection. Like I said, I want to know what your bottles are down in the comments below. Go check out those other channels that I challenged. And until next time, this has been Nathan with The Everyday Drinker. Cheers.